Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero like defender of the fatherland, off here to a 2v2 on Elst Outskirts. In the north, it is Isildur and Thoton fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, and the 5th Guards Tank Corps here, tasked with breaking through the German lines, commanded here by Phantomx and Alphastrike, forming up here with the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier here with Grand Offensive featuring Panzerfusilier, smoke bombs, infrared Sturmgewehrs, Panzer Commander, Tiger tanks, Phantomx with Lightning War, Blitzkrieg, and Jägerarmen. For the Soviets, we got double armored assault, airborne troops, combined arms, Lend-Lease tactics, and Garten motor. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and the support, the Propagandacast would not be possible. Big thanks to all those supporting the war effort. Other people enjoy the links by Patreon, or they can consider donating by PayPal. Links are in the description. And if you're going to pre-order companies free, consider doing it via the link in the comments. Use the CoH2 3G as well, in which case I get a cut of the sale there. So that would certainly make me very happy. And of course, Basil the kitty cat, who is currently asleep elsewhere. And finally, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video. So, off to the races we are here. Phantomx in the south. Northwards bound is Alphastrike with this Panzerfusilier. Thoton and Isildur here with a fairly conscript heavy build here from both players. You know, overall standard build orders there for the most part. Sandbags here, Sturmpioneer closing in on the northern fuel point, very steadily there for Deutschland. The Sturmgewehrs clenched tightly in their hands. The Panzerfusilier following up here with the Karnant TK. Panzerfusilier, for those wondering, is basically just a more honorific title for Panzer Grenadier that was initially exclusive to the Großdeutschland, but will later sort of spill over into other units as the war went on. Second Panzer Squad on the way there, though, for Alphastrike. Phantomx with the 2 Grenadiers, MD-42. Some been grabbed by the conscripts of North here. Volkskunde Sturmpioneer got some barbed wire up here. Thoton rapidly looking to deny cover there to his opponents. Grabbing the eastern point of the Panzerfusilier. And then suddenly we can see the Grenadiers just defend the car point against any potential rush here from both Thoton and Isildur. So it looks like we're going to see a bull rush in the car point, which definitely Phantomx in a bad spot and could force Alphastrike to double back. Or, you know, keep moving up there, but that could, of course, cause Phantomx to suffer heavier losses. So, but yeah, it does look like we're going to see a double push here from Thoton and Isildur here on Phantomx. MD-42 kind of easier as the conscripts here suppressing one squad rapidly. Cut off upon their hit, and we can see here Phantomx being overwhelmed so far, though Alphastrike is slowly moving up from the north here towards the south now. Meanwhile, Phantomx is, I think, more or less being pushed into full rout here. He's trying to buy time, I think, here and inflict more casualties on the Soviets, but it risks coming at an incredibly high loss cost here to Phantomx. North there, Sturmpioneer moving in, bit of barbed wire there, got northern field point at least. South here, Grenadiers moving up there, we got 3 Grenadiers, 1 MD-42 here. For the Soviets, it's 4 conscripts for Thoton, which likely indicates airborne troop tactics. Maybe armored assault here, that could still, I guess, be combined arms. As for Isildur, that one definitely makes me think Garten motor. They could surprise us with Lend-Lease. Flamethrower use was the bunch type units navy cover. This is great for the flamethrowers, splitting out the Alphastrike's forces rapidly and out into the open, which of course makes it easier for the other troops nearby to then deal with Alphastrike's forces here. So flamethrowers are incredibly disruptive weapons in this regard. There we go, second flamethrower team here. There goes Sturmpioneer routed, almost wiped out. It's going to be a great kill here for the Soviets in the early game if they could get rid of that Sturmpioneer squad. But fortune smiles, however, briefly there, Alphastrike. On the south, Phantomx and the 7th Panzergrenadier Company mans up for another counter-assault here for the glory of Deutschland. Panzergrenadier setting out there for Alphastrike up north here. Troops there skirmishing from the conscripts. A lot of action across the entire front line here. Not a dull moment here. Pioneer pushing forward. Grenadiers backing them up here. MG-42 team also arriving here. Pioneers and MG-40 clashing confident on the flank here. Very smart move there by Phantomx. Good use of the terrain here. Pioneers around the front of X. Sandbags barbed wire in the center from Isildur. There we go. Thoton, as expected, goes for airborne troops. That way he can upgrade his troops with, of course, a bunch of SV-40 semi-automatics. Need to treat here, though he's being, I think, outgunned here by Alphastrike's forces. A very murderous bunch. Those there go quick merge here. Nice trick there as well. Executed by a lot of highest tier players, basically keeping the conscripts engineer squad at full strength. Very powerful use of the merge ability. And again, can just allow him to keep using the flamethrower there. So, definitely very savvy there by Thoton, and allows him to basically, again, just overcome all of these other troops here, because, again, the flamethrower is by far just a powerful weapon. And of course, then keeping the flamethrower on the front line for a longer period of time is, well, obviously very powerful. So while it did technically end up costing a lot of conscripts their lives, he was ultimately able to overcome, a otherwise tactically unfortunate situation. He's still flanking in there, further complicating the situation here for Alphastrike. Track out there, the Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper. Like to make a nice company for Phantomx. Could add some LMGs there to the Grenadier. Samex here. Phantomx up, Barwire up north. There we go. Fresh assault here by Alphastrike and the German army. Second Panzergrenadier Company, or I suppose Panzerfusilier Company. Grenadiers flying back here. Light machine guns plenty, plus an armored car. Fairly standard build order from Phantomx. No surprise, say half-tracks, Panzer Grenadiers, or a mortar or two. Tech for use is already up. That could be a fast half-track here. The quad mount, that is definitely going to give the Germans a bit of a headache there. As neither Phantomx or Alphastrike are currently in possession of any anti-tank weapons. I mean, in a pinch here, theoretically, like Alphastrike could go for Panzerstrikes. He's also going for the Mechanized regiment, so there's also the possibility, of course, of the Puma heavy armored car being unleashed upon the Soviets. Up north here, conscripts clashing with the Panzer with the Sturmpioner. Quick route here. Very sensible move there. Half drag out for Isildur and the Red Army. Looks on the way for Alphastrike. DHK and SUD-40 is there for Thoton and the Red Army. The south, the armored car pushes forward here into the line held here by Throne or Isildur's men here. Of the 567th Motorized Rifle Brigade. And there's something on the west side. North here we got the Panzerfusilier here as the conscripts. Clashing over the Panzerfusilier and the Volksgrenadiers. Overall, there should be a win here for Alphastrike, as terrain here is not favoring Thoton, and neither are the numbers. Crucially, though, it's most of the numbers where it really matters. Isildur's half-tank is also screening off the west side here, trying to keep Phantomx in check now, as I think definitely had a bit too much freedom to roam there. Could call in some Guards Airborne troops, though I don't think Thoton is likely to do that. They tend not to be wildly popular, which is a bit of a shame. I do think they're quite good. Anyways, Mechanized written headquarters up here for Mr. Alphastrike, of course, what the looks about. Like the Panzer Aufklärung. Rolling out with that one, about 130 or so build of them. Also interesting enough, and less covered, is in fact they actually made a scissor reconnaissance tanks based off the Czechoslovakian Panzer 38T. Basically like the looks as well, just with a slightly more open top turret similar to the 222, but also roughly in the same numbers, so they're all fun fact there too. DSK here at the ready, but obviously not quite a match for a light tank. After goes the armored car, a bit of a duel here on the west side. Needs to start the building here with the light machine gun. Heavy machine gun team come up the flank there. You can see there Isildur and Thoton trying to cut flat in the car upon again. Here the looks is so far being bogged down. Clearly Alphastrike is not rushing in too hard. He's concerned about possible anti-tank grenades, mines, or a field gun hiding about here. I suppose even like a possible T-70 honestly, since you've already seen the half-tech, so assuming like something like a T-70 isn't far away, is sensible. Do get a heavy mortar from Isildur as the ultimate goes for Guard Motor. I know, great shock. Please calm yourself down, viewers. Guard Motor, of course, being by far the most picked commander. Anyways, T-35 here. Heavy mortars, Guards Rifle Infantry, Vehicle Crew Repair Training, and the Marked Vehicle. The quad there, quint, actually not quad, but quint there of just very, very good abilities mixed together. More weapon drops there for Thoton, the Red Army, plus this 3 additional field gun. Another swap being launched by Alphastrike, now of course backed up by light tank. Alphastrike's Panzerfusilier, of course, much more imposing. I mean, most troops tend to be when they're backed up by a tank. And there's crucially no anti-tank weapons on the other side. Field guns on the way there for Thoton. Round the point here up north. And Mechanized Regiment remains silent. Could be going for a Puma here, of course. Yes, in fact, he has already gone for the Puma. Turns out I was a bit too slow there. So that's the 234-2 heavy armored car. Successor to the 232 heavy armored car, actually. Armored car going straight for the contact gun is backing up, also known as the Achtrad. Damage engine in the armored car. And these concepts clashing out here, not looking great there for Phantomx's men. A Mortify definitely adding some pressure to both Phantomx and to Alphastrike, but primarily Phantomx is clearly going for more defensive strategy. There you go, Puma knocks out the half-track. Great kill here for Alphastrike. How will the Soviet players react to this? Will Isildur go for field guns, Guardsmen, and SU-6M maybe? There's certainly quite a few paths here the Soviet players could choose to go for, but at the moment at least, not much really happening. Got a field gun away there for Isildur. Sturm Pioneer there almost brought up the conscripts, and the far east have got the Lux engaging into the conscripts there. Autocannon fire raking them with hot death. Conscript with the armored car being routed as well. They're taking heavy damage. Field gun that gets a great shot on the 2-2. Lux falling back around the eastern point here. Over here we got the field gun slowed around there for Mr. Isildur. Field gun of his very own. I will beat you and hug you and I will call you George. I'll cut it out, Yuri. He's moving out. Great shot there with the field gun on the Lux. Bunker up there from Phantomx to assist his teammate. Mines are plenty here from Isildur on the left flank. He's clearly concerned about the vehicles getting too aggressive towards him. Tech for Thoton as well, the Tanku Vipitan command here. A mortar firing down there. So far, Isildur is not quite having any success with the same mortar. Farther up north, you got the Conscious, the Fulton on the northern point. Field gun moving up as well. Plenty of mines here, really indicating that for Isildur this is a major concern here. That's potential path here. Very sensible one to have, honestly. East side here, Alphastrike and Thoton continue to deliver blows, but neither side really making any significant gains permanently. Like, it's sort of a bit of back and forth here. West side, meanwhile, is also a bit more of a sort of stalled out situation. Now that Isildur Phantomx, in a sense, like launching, I think, any sort of really inventive attacks, it's sort of more of a style of attrition engagement where I think Isildur is just pretty much betting everything on the heavy mortar, just, you know, slamming in some wipes here on Phantomx and the Germans. But so far, while it's definitely getting some kills, it's not quite getting those wipes he's probably, you know, thinking about. Double Mechanized Armor Company here for both Soviets. Could go for a fast T-34-6 on the Thoton. We'll have to see what Isildur goes for. Will it be Katyusha to try and, you know, further break up the stalemate here? Or will it be tanks, so that way try and punch through with a bit of Stalinist armored might? Damage and looks as an anti-tank grenade there pops off the engine like a overused toaster. Big push with the G43 Panzer is completely routing here. Thoton as his flank collapses. No sign of further tech here for Alphastrike. Then again, with all the stuff he's been doing, it's not exactly a priority. Phantomx got tech himself. We'll have to see what he goes for. Thoton, though, is very close. He's going for tier 4. Definitely a bit risky there for the Germans at the moment, particularly with Thoton about to start chucking T-34-6s at them. Northern Point. Stukas of first CF Alphastrike. Rocket Artillery also pretty much going for a full strike there on the Mechanized Regiment units. Definitely a high-risk maneuver in some regards, really, particularly for the Stukas, which requires a very skilled player to fully utilize it. If he makes it work, obviously it's going to be very, very powerful, but if he's not very good with it, it's going to be like a massive expenditure that's really going to sink the Germans' situation here. So, we'll have to see here. Thoton, this T-34 almost done. No Son of Armor yet here for Isildur, though, of course. He could go for the T-34-6 as well, but likely he's thinking of bigger things. With bigger guns, or rockets. More heavy mortar fire here. 4. And now, of course, both fuel points being under German control, that also, I think, adds some more pressure to the Soviets to actually reclaim them and actually mess with the German fuel economy. It's also worth noting here, by the way, interesting enough, Isildur's never really tries to go for deep flank around here, and that way try and hit the fuel pump, but also force Phantomx to divert his guns towards here. It's a bit of a interesting thing to note there. Like, typically that tends to be like one of my favorite ways of getting towards the fuel pump, but also mess with these like front line here from the south. News what? There's a bit of blow to the Thoton and the Red Army. You can see here the northern front line is slowly crumbling a bit here now with the T-54 arriving. Certainly could get a bit sideways here for Alphastrike is not careful. Puma shoots, misses the T-54 miss again. T-54 does not miss the looks. MD-34, there's also in a bit of a danger zone here. Bit of a danger zone. Heading for northern fuel point here. There we go, heavy panzer corps up for Phantomx, who continues to be the only player without a commander. We're very slowly approaching the 20-minute mark. We've got mines here from Isildur. He's just very slowly extending a mine carpet here against Phantomx. We finally picks a commander, and it's actually Blitzkrieg. I was down to where I think it's going to be like Jaeger Armor, since that's just been so very popular as of late, but nope. Blitzkrieg with a command tank, Panzer Tactician, tactical movement, air reconnaissance, and Stuart close air support. And we got Isildur there with the T-34E5. Boomer sneaks in a shot, then the T-34. We've got the Panzer Rushing 40 with the anti-tank rifle grenade. But the T-34 narrowly escapes getting its engine turned into burning slag. T-35 there on the way for Isildur, halfway down, plus another field gun for him. Further, I think, indicates a focus on much slower approaches here versus Phantomx. Looks like northwards here, straight for the fuel point there. Looks like I might even try and cycle around here, Thoton. That could be pretty devastating, also risky. Another try there. Holy shit, that was a great hit from the T-34 Pretty more or less just got the wipe there on the Filter Squad, leaving just now Alphastrike with the Panzerfusilier and the Sturm. We've also got the Luke's Knight to cut off as well here. Yeah, that was sort of the thing that could get a bit dangerous here. The good chance of losing the Luke's now. The Puma could try and rush in, but of course there might be other stuff fighting nearby. T-34 getting a hit there. Puma rushing in, but the counter now blocking here. Yeah, damn, it's engine here. This course means he can't pop it on the Puma either, but in theory we could draw it into close ranges here and then take it out with that. There we go. Got the looks. He's going to lose the T-34 unless he gets very lucky. I suppose he could just ram it and hope for the best. Not. Still gun moving in. Oh, the T-34 got abandoned. Oh, bleah. That is great for Alphastrike, but pretty rubbish there for Thoton. We'll have to see if he tries to destroy it or just salvages it. Of course, we cruise it. Even though the T-34 there for Thoton. Isildur's T-35 is arriving in the south here. He's making some progress towards the car point here. Phantomx, I think, avoided his defenses too high towards the fuel point, leaving the car point more vulnerable. But there you go. Stugasvus is actually not flying towards there, but up north here, trying to deal with Thoton's wave of attackers. And yeah, that wasn't quite as impressive. Looking to fix up that T-34 get it going. South here, pushing up towards the victory point there. And there you go, Isildur shifting those tank hits to assist his beleaguered teammate as Alphastrike's assault is slowly breaking apart here Thoton's front line. There you go. Field gun there cleared out. We got the Puma rushing forward here. 3 kills. Veterans here too. Quick anti-tank grenade here on the Puma. Damaging the engine in the center there. We got Phantomx moving up there on the ground, center victor point as well here. Field gun quickly crewed here. The Puma though is hauling ass out of there. Schwer Panzer quarters up here with another Panzer squad here for Alphastrike. Interesting enough, we could also gone for the opposite in here, but decides not to. There we go. T-34 crewed up. With some nice German crewmen. Quiet here for now. Sturmpanzer Fiat here for Phantomx. Another push with the T-34 going to flank the T-34 And with the T-34 on Alpha got the first hit and the second hit, that is definitely engagement favor for that. Thoton's going to need to disengage here. Got the T-34 arriving though. It misses the T-34 as well. Good lord. Apparently nothing can hit that T-34-6 now. It's controlled by Germans. Puma in some serious repairs. Yes, for Phantomx. We'll see what it goes for next. Punch press to the MD-42. Nice over there by Phantomx. Well, decent, I guess. Bit risky, obviously, as well. Here, Mortar feel I could get a bit closer to the front line, but there you go, trying to snuff out that MD-42. But the fortune seems to constantly confound the Isildur on his attempts to just hit something. There's some really rubbish like there. There we go. Otto there splattered out. Another Stukas barrage here from Alphastrike. And that one definitely made an impact, wiping out Isildur's heavy mortars, snuffing out the crew top. There you go. Finally something resembling more of an actual push in the west. Cutting right through Phantomx's forces here. Wiping out a pack as well there. There's still one in return here. Making much hard to deal with still. Pretty decent there. Sturmpanzer rushing in and very much forces here Isildur to call off the assault in the end. But, you know, not half bad, but clearly needed more infantry to really succeed on more tanks. Thoton there damaging the T-34-6's engine. And we got a big push here by Alphastrike in the center. Panzer rushing forward. We got the Sturmpanzer in support. Another wipe there, this time on Alphastrike, losing another Panzer squad by the looks of things. Perhaps he goes for next, guessing a Panzer IV here. Or maybe a Tiger tank you could try and stall up for, I guess. T-45 there, clashing with the German troops. CoH2 on the way. North here, T-34 pushing back the Panzers. We've got the Puma and the T-34-6 moving up as well here. Shoots and whiffs. Another Panzer squad there again for Alphastrike. Guess no Obersoldaten for him. Good well because, you know, again, the Panzer with the G-45s are good, but they're also a 6-man squad, which also makes them harder to wipe than the Obersoldaten, so definitely gives them some advantages. Isildur's got his CoH2 rocket launcher to the front line, ready to bombard some fascist positions. Playing a nice Stalinist tune there on the Stalin organ, as it was known by the Germans. And there you go, wipe the MD-42 there. Slightly breaking apart here at Phantomx's front line, but the Sturmpanzer represents nonetheless a continued threat here to like further success. Along with the Pack 40s. Machine gun then they're being attempted crewed here by Isildur. But again, the Sturmpanzer proving to be an asset alongside the Grenadiers here, wiping out the crew very swiftly. Still, the assault is on here. Machine gun now being bombarded by the field guns. Sturmpanzer being bombarded as well here. T-50 moving forwards. Northeast, well, we got some fighting here between Thoton and Alphastrike. Well, Alphastrike's T-34-6 now having 15 kills. It's really proven to be a steal of an addition to his forces. He's about to get wiped out there. Definitely need to get them out of there before they get turned into pulp. And we got a Panther there for Phantomx. As for Alphastrike, no sign of additional armor there. Sturmpanzer rolling out there. In the west here we got the T-35s, the Grenadiers there. 3 kills, half HP veterans 1 there. Got a damaged engine, the Sturmpanzer, aka the Sturpa. Marking it for death as well, and there you go. Ramming in with the T-34-6 and calling Rocket Strike. A bit of a combo here by Thoton and Isildur. In the T-35 here, and there you go. Wombo combo took out the Sturmpanzer, plus the Cough on hit there, leaving the German situation a bit more exposed. Can the Surge still, you know, follow up on this success, though, is the current big question. So now again, that Alphastrike's T-34-6 continues to just be an absolute monster. North fuel being grabbed as Thoton is now converging everything towards the center, meaning the North fuel one is completely open, and Alphastrike exploited that beautifully. Panther out here for Phantomx and the German army. We got an MD-34 here manned as well by Thoton's men. Got Alphastrike's T-34 moving up. Fun fact about T-34s in German service, but they're actually commonly be modified with two things. A better cupola, because that one wasn't quite good. But also, they typically add armored side skirts to the T-34-6s as well. Similar to those used on the Jagdpanzer IV. So, little fun fact there. Massive artillery strikes here across the west center here, the south center. Though neither barrage really seem to make much of an impact. But there you go, Country Heights Force on Isildur's command here. Molotov and MD-42 there. More rocket fire, more death, more destruction. Almost got here. Phantomx MD-42. His Panther remains in reserve here. The heavy mortar, I feel like, is very much a bit too far removed here to really have an impact. That's just me. I'm obviously not on the same level as Isildur, so what do I know? T-Fed up Nick landing a good hit up north here. T-Fed force moving about here, going to flank around here. The Panzerfusilier further up north at points east. A brutal fight here continues around the center. Isildur, I think, at this stage would benefit from more tanks or tank destroyers, honestly, if he's going to keep up the style of attack he currently is. Now the T-Fed force from 60 for Thoton and the Red Army. He would honestly also benefit, I think, from artillery. Some mortars could be a very nice addition here for Thoton. South here, Phantomx advancing the southern fuel or victory point here. Grenadiers backed up by the mighty Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pumping about here, T-Fed force almost done. Fusiliers flank around the conscripts, very good. Mortar moving out. More heavy mortar fire there. Up north, you've got the T-Fed force 76 and the Panzer. They go wiping one Thoton's conscripts there, utterly obliterating them. Got the T-Fed force number 2 out here for Thoton and the Red Army. But yeah, it looks like Alphastrike is planning here for a Tiger tank, which to strike at the Stalinist positions and overrun them. And we got a second T-Fed 5 as well here for Isildur. So that's two T-Fed 4 switch player, though of course a bit different in the model of T-Fed 4. More rocket strikes here from both players. Hard to say which one was most impactful. If you ask the squirrels, probably both. Here's the conscripts here. Also worth noting, Phantomx now building a fuel cache to assist his teammate. There we go, Thoton and Isildur going for the T-34-6. But once more, the Alphastrike's fit to get out. It's halfway to the east. It's got 29 kills. The T-34-6, you might notice, has some really insane anti-infantry performance, particularly against Soviet infantry. Just to make it more amusing. Tiger tank out of Alphastrike. And there you go. Isildur's committing all of his T-35 to taking out that T-34-76. It has clearly become a, major objective here for the Soviet army to, deny the fascists this Wunderwaffe. He's going all in, but there you go. They're going to encounter the Tiger tank plus Raketenwerfer around the corner. Not great here for Isildur. He's going to have to bail out of that one pretty fast here. Panthers, there you go. Ramming his T-34 right up Phantomx's Panther's rear, and then rocket striking it here. Can they hit it? No, the rocket strikes all hit the large stack of lumber there. Now these Isildur's moving in. The T-35 trying to destroy that one. Smoke everywhere. Trying to take out the Panther, but also close them to more fire as well. T-34 moving up and Puma moving up. Isildur there caught in a bit of a traffic jam, and they don't get the Panther but lose a T-34-85. And we got the T-34-6 just stuck out in the open. What an absolute mess there. That is two tanks now in flames here in an attempt to get a Panther. And a completely failed rocket strike, which probably will result in the pilot getting sent to Gulag. Now to the Alphastrike following up on the failure there of Isildur's Thoton's combined strike to push forward. So that we can see here, Thoton and Isildur's dug in pretty hard here on the victory point axis there, with the fielders backing up as well here. Rocket strike, though, is pretty much uncutting in there. Go, narrowly escaping that close call here for Thoton and his machine gun crew there. Yeah, there's a complete fallback now here in the east as well from the Soviets, as the front line is crumbling. West side is seeing no action. They're seemingly leaving Phantomx's and devices there for now. Thoton rushing with his other T-34 from 6, catching the Grenadiers here. Friedrich getting blown to bits here. Otto following into the great pixelated beyond. And the MD-34 is about to get hit by a Steelhand Grenade, killing Vasily and Konstantin. Sturmpanzer number 2 for Phantomx, Tiger Tank T-34 from 6. And the T-34 from 6 in his reign of terror, 32 kills. 5 kills on the Tiger Tank. Puma there with 3 kills, half fate of Echelon 3. Panther running force as well here for Phantomx. Phantom being routed here. MD-42 as engineers. H-5 for Thoton. And we got Isildur either skimming for another T-45 here, and H-5 himself as well. And there you go, Thoton's position being steadily cleaned out here by Alphastrike's command here. Tiger Tank pushing 14, 9 kills, close veteran to 1. And Alphastrike's T-34 from 6 is near ace level. There you go, Panther taking a face full of rocket strikes here from Isildur's Katyusha rocket launcher. 11 kills here, veteran Z1, which does open up for the very potent, but a bit older creeping strike barrage there. T-35 number 2 here for Isildur. Got the T-35 them engaged in the Sturmpanzer. Phantomx it clearing it a bit too enthusiastic with it. Tiger Tank need repairs. And another T-35 for Isildur. Mortar remains, though, I feel like really far behind. I feel like Isildur still would benefit more from having a bit closer to the front. Obviously, don't want like it like right up your opponent's face, but I feel like he's not quite getting as much out of his others could, though. Got the victory point here, line secured by Alphastrike. Mark vehicle here from Isildur on the T-34-76. Again, this T-34-76 by now Isildur has really just proven to be a massive thorn in the Soviet side. Aircraft knocked out of the sky. See a complete explosion there. I doubt the pilot survived that one. H-5 they're being rushed down by the Puma and the Tiger Tank here. Almost lost the 2 really close calls with the Thoton and the Red Army. Really close call. Panther sending out here for Phantomx. Panther's routed. Far up north here, point ceased. Tiger Tank is engaging, 9 kills. No pinlock machine upgrade to add to that one. Smoke deployed. Quick shooting there, but not landing them. West side here, we got the T-35 as the Grenadiers pushing back, control the tanks, maybe velocity from the Panther, and I guess nearby Sturmpanzer as well. Again, sort of heavily focused on center, conceding the north and again the southern fuel point, which means the Germans are getting a lot of fuel compared to the Soviets at the moment. Another T-34 switch there for Thoton. Panzerwehr here for Phantomx. Puma's still alive with 3 kills but close to actually flee. T-34 engaged here with assault support here from the Katyusha rocket launcher, hammering Phantomx's positions. His machine gun definitely forced to vacate the premises before the premises explode. Which is typically a good reason to vacate any premises. Further north, T-34 switches as the Panzer Veteran 4, this is the Veteran 2. There you go, Thoton with another one. We got the Paxel ramming here, engaging Isildur's T-45, pushing that one back into a more safe position for now. And there you go, Panther moving forward, right into the field guns though. Doesn't quite have munitions here for the marked vehicle, in which case the Panther could suffer a lot of damage very fast. Could now get hit with the marked vehicle at the same time. But there we go, field guns were not quite overlapping there. You do get the marked vehicle, but without a follow-up here, couldn't have a waste of munitions here for Isildur, unless the plan was just to keep, Phantomx's Panther away from the fighting for at least a brief while. Tiger and watch up north here. The Ace T-34 from 6 here from Alphastrike moves forward. 35 kills. Panther as well here for Alphastrike. Situation for the Soviet army is definitely starting to get Very awkward here, and again, part of it's just, you know, they've been, I think, too quick to concede fuel points here to the Germans. And it's really, I think, a lot the Germans like just gain a significant armor advantage there, which is what you're typically not looking to do. Rocket strike here from Alphastrike. Holy smokes, 39 kills. 45 kills. Yeah, that's I mean, he's really been leveraging his Stukas and his T-34, so he's got 37 kills now. Good golly. More rocket strikes, more death, and send the Titan to the knees. We got a rather pressure situation from the certificate. Isildur is actually replacing 2 conscript squads here. Worth noting, he hasn't bothered at all with the guardsmen. There you go. Panther out here for Alphastrike. That is a significant armored force here for him. Never mind the Ace T-34-6, which has so far easily outdone the Tiger tank several times over. And just keeps increasing the kill tally at an incredibly rapidly expanding pace. Like 41 kills. There's a hell of a kill tally. North, you've got the Sturmpanzer moving forwards. And certainly a really good highlight just as to how powerful the T-34 can be in the right hands. Panther going here for the T-35, looking to knock it out. Pack wiped, small loss here for Phantomx, and he's altering for the Katyusha barrage. Actually a chance of some wipes here. I think at this point the question then would be, would Isildur and Thoton be able to exploit this though? Because they're being steadily pushed back here, and they're just not landing like any significant blows into the Germans at this stage. I mean, they're still, I think, just focusing on 2 narrow objectives, which I think is like, you know, losing scope of something they need to do, which is they need to start inflicting like pretty heavy losses on the Germans. I mean, obviously they tried to and that failed, but I don't think it means they can just ignore that particular thing there. T-34 going straight for the Panther's flank. There we go. Mark of smoke being deployed here, and we got air support as well there. Pack about to get wiped out. Almost got the Panther here. Panther's blitzing away. Eventually 2 gained, but not enough to save it here against the fury of the Red Army, and the Panther goes up in flames, so the T-34 also goes up in flames. I mean, technically, you know, a 1-for-1 trade-off, which benefits the Soviets as the T-35 is notably cheaper than a Panther. But if we sort of look at the other sort of elements of the battle, like victory points and current, you know, terrain, it's not a great trade-off, therefore, Isildur necessarily, because we can't then, you know, push up and exploit this loss. It's not really going to matter because, again, like, you know, they still need to make gains. It needs to, like, deal further damage. So a 1-for-1 trade-off is maybe not quite that beneficial here for Isildur, because it means he can't really follow up, which he needs to do. North, the intent push for here is quickly stopped here by the Ace Panzer squads under Alphastrike's command. Yeshka being flanked here with the T-34-6 Ace, 42 kills. 55 kills, by the way. Stukas was clearly in the hands of a capable player. Like, you know, again, like, you know, there's like basically 2 types of Stukas players. Those who know how to use it, and those who don't know how to use them. And Alphastrike is clearly one of the few that knows how to use it. At which point it becomes an incredible weapon. But if you don't know how to use it, I mean, you might as well just, you know, throw it away. You just drive it up and get destroyed, because it's about as useful. Looks like Thoton and Isildur getting ready here for a big push in the west. They're looking for 1 push to, like, maybe overwhelm Phantomx, at which point they'll probably try and double up on Alphastrike. Can they achieve this? Meanwhile, Phantomx is already going for another Panther. The Sturmpanzer trouble got smoke being deployed here. Packs running around here, infantry following up here, though. The smoke actually helping here Thoton's tanks here to pursue the Sturmpanzer, but no, there's one for a round. Panther fires plus a second pack 40. Does get one of them, but we can see already now the assault is running into issues here. Isildur wasn't quite able to follow up here. We do get a Katyusha strike now, but by now already the momentum of surprise has been lost. And all that, like, we can see now Alphastrike's pouring in units as well. His assist, we got the Panther out now for Phantomx. This assault has very much just, I think, sparked into nothing. And it's clearly not going to be going anywhere. Good hit on the T-Fid for some 6, but it will continue to live there. 44 kills. Target tank also disengaging, 17 kills. 46, which means combined with that one, that's like over 100 kills in just 2 units. One of which, again, he took from the Soviets. 48 kills. 49. And there you go, Thoton Isildur surrenders. A grievous loss here to the Red Army. The Ancient of Rights, they seem to have kind of broken it, but they ultimately did it at a fairly high loss, in particular for Thoton, who started to really beat out infantry. So a fierce match here on Elst Outskirts with a lot of tank battles, a lot of back and forth. But in the end, I think the Serbs were slightly, undercut by their tendency to attack across narrow ground. They even tried to, outmaneuver. And I also think they would have benefited from a bit more lead infantry and some more mortar support, to sort of really, try and push through the German lines. I also think that push in the end against the Panther was also, a bit of an overreach there, which also, hurt them more than it, really did them any good. So, hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't turn enemies, and consider donating or supporting the Propagandacast if you like what I do and what you see me keep going, as that would help me out a lot here. So, thank you all for joining in. You were all a wonderful audience. Cheers, everyone.